What if Marvel's What If show teased out a massive part of Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness and the coming multiversal conflicts after that film in its first episode? Well, I think that it did. It all has to do with what the Red Skull did in the episode and that crazy monster that shows up at the end. But I want to say, spoiler warning, if you haven't seen the first episode of Marvel's What If, we're going to spoil the heck out of that as we get into this theory. So in Marvel's What If Episode 1, we see an alternate universe where Peggy Carter, not Steve Rogers, becomes the Allies' super soldier. Also different in this universe, the Red Skull enacts a plan to summon a crazy monster, and that crazy monster does crazy monster things at the end of that episode, but might also be connected to the many-angled ones, Shuma, and the future of the MCU, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. On a side note, I'm actually really curious if the Red Skull that's in the normal Infinity Saga universe, if he was intending to also summon a monster like this. And in my personal headcanon explanation of this, perhaps in this what if alternate reality, Peggy and Steve combined together, really pressuring all of the people in Europe, including Hydra, and maybe this just made the Red Skull's plans go way faster. Regardless of all of that, he has a different plan, and it is to summon this champion from what he describes as beyond the stars.
Soon, the true champion of Hydra shall be summoned from beyond the stars.
And it's that beyond the stars reference and the fact that the monster looks like Shuma that makes me believe that this monster is, if not Shuma, probably one of the many-angled ones. And you might be like, who the heck are the many-angled ones? What's the deal with that? Now, according to the Nerdvengers files here in the tower, the many-angled ones are described as primordial entities that inhabit spaces between universes. According to the official Marvel wiki, it says they are the memory echoes of nightmares that plagued the first demons of the universe. But there's still some ancient ghoul worlds in dying realities that are still devoted to their worship. They're sometimes referred to as the Great Old Ones. In fact, they've been referred to as Dark Gods, Dark Ones, Outsiders, Elder Ones, Elder Gods, and the Great Old Ones and the Many-Angled Ones. They go by many different names in Marvel Comics. Now, in some of the Marvel stories, they are led, like there's a hierarchy, and Shuma and the True Fairy King are a couple of the ones that rule the rest of them. They're said to be made of antimatter, and again, come from nothingness and perhaps come from before the universe or the multiverse was even created. Even Cthulhu, who has ties to the Darkhold, which we have seen in WandaVision, is said to be connected to the Elder Gods, to the Many-Angled Ones, or the Ancient Ones, depending on what you call them. Now, like I said, Shuma is revealed to be a member of the Many-Angled Ones, and this happens in the Thanos Imperative comic. In fact, it is revealed that Shuma is not just one of the Many-Angled Ones, but he is in fact the master or ruler of them. And Shuma is insanely strong. He is able to, from across dimensions, transmute entire planets, and it is said that if he ever entered the actual Marvel reality, the pressure from his power auras would destroy multiple galaxies. Now, many Marvel fans will point out that in the War of Kings event, which involved a universe known as the Cancerverse, the Many-Angled Ones took over that universe and killed Mistress Death so that nothing would die in that universe and everything would just grow and grow forever. And this imbued some of the people there with powers, but it also made everything this grotesque, chaotic version of the world that we know. And together with the Many-Angled Ones, all of the life in that universe just expanded and grew to the point where it started breaking into other universes to try to take over the entire multiverse. Again, this was Shuma, and this was the Many-Angled Ones. Now, what makes this all the more relevant and possibly teases out that big multiversal connection is that one of the big rumors for Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness is the fact that we will see Shuma as the main villain of that film. And we're not going to get into all of that because there's even more stuff connecting Wanda to that and a lot of leaks and rumors out there, but I think it's kind of safe to say at this point that Shuma is going to be the villain of Doctor Strange 2, or at least the main antagonist of the film. It's also important to remember that Captain Carter herself is rumored to make a live-action appearance in Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness as well. And in some recent Funko Pop leaks, we have it indicated that the darker version of Doctor Strange is also rumored to be in Doctor Strange 2. And it's even possible that the Doctor Strange from our universe makes an appearance in the What If show, as we have seen the darker version of Strange facing off against a other version of Strange that does more closely resemble the one we know from the Marvel movies. And it's something that happens at the very end of the episode that has me thinking we might get more of an explanation for what exactly that monster was in What If, and I think that monster could continue to show up in other properties, maybe again here in the What If show, but possibly that very same monster could be Shuma that we see in Doctor Strange 2. And this all has to do with Peggy Carter going through the portal from which that monster was summoned, fighting that monster back, and then being brought back into the present time. But it is made clear to us, the audience, that to Peggy, not a lot of time has passed at all, as when she comes out of the portal, she's just there looking the same that she was and asking where Steve Rogers is at. Nick Fury, again in more modern or present day times, tells her that the war ended about 70 years ago. That again puts us right around that time of 2012, or just, present day time for all intents and purposes. And again, remember that the many angled ones come from places that are outside of universes, seemingly then from outside of time. And I think a simple explanation for why Peggy is looking for Steve, and to her not 70 years has passed, is the fact that where she goes to fight this monster back is a place where time either doesn't exist or does not work the same as it does in our universe, which feels like a total many-angled thing to me. And so because I think What If is going to now pick up with Captain Carter leading a group of Avengers in that said reality, I think we will get some kind of an explanation for, at the very least, why she was time displaced, and that explanation could further explain what's going on with that monster. It's also possible the monster pops up towards the end of the show, and again, the fact that all these characters are rumored to meet back up in Doctor Strange just really has me thinking that that little monster that you see in this 30-minute animated show could actually be the main villain for a huge franchise film, and lead us to even further crazy things down the line, because Loki is also rumored for Doctor Strange 2, and it's just gonna be nuts to see how all of this stuff could possibly fit together. And so that's the theory, some of the speculation, and an explanation of what the many-angled ones and Shuma Gorath are. Hope you enjoyed this video. Smash a like on it if you did. Make sure you check out the live streaming channel, where I live stream at 10:30 a.m. live from Nerdvengers Tower Monday through Friday. And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.